Thank you for joining me. Today we'll be learning Daf Yod, Berachos Daf Yod. We're starting at 10a1, the second paragraph. Having mentioned the verse, let sinners cease from the earth, the Gemara goes on to recount an incident regarding the correct explication of this verse. Hanu Beryone Dehavu Bishvavuse de Rabbi Meir. There were certain boars in Rabbi Meir's neighborhood. Vavakal Matarwale Tuva, and they caused Rabbi Meir considerable distress. Havakaboi Rabbi Meir Rachmi Elaveu Kihechi Dele Musu. Once Rabbi Meir was praying for mercy regarding them so that they would die. Amale Bruria Debisu. His wife Bruria said to him, "My Datach, what is the reasoning to pray for their death?" Mishum Dechsiv Yitamu Chataim, because it is written, let sinners Chataim cease from the earth. You therefore emulate King David, just as he prayed for the death of sinners, so too do you pray for their death. Miksiv Chotim, but is it then the word Chotim that is written in the verse in which in which case the verse would refer to sinners? No, Chataim Ksiv. The word written is Chataim, which refers to that which causes one to sin, i.e. the evil inclination. Accordingly, King David is not praying for the death of sinners, but for an end to the evil inclination that leads them into sin. Vod shvil seifei dekra, and furthermore go down to the end of the verse, which states, Rishom odenam, and let the wicked be no more. Kevin the itamu chatam Rishom odenam. Now is it definitely the case that once sinners cease from the world, the wicked will be no more. But the cessation of present-day sinners does not ensure that the future wicked men will not appear on the scene. Evidently, then, the term chataim refers only not to sinners, but to that which causes sin, the evil inclination. Therefore, you should rather pray for mercy regarding these boars, that they should repent of their wickedness and turn away from their evil inclination. In the absence of any urge to sin, the wicked will indeed be no more. Rameir heeded her advice and prayed for mercy regarding these boars, and they indeed repented of their wickedness. The Gemara continues with another incident involving Bruria. Amalah ahu mina lebruria. A certain heretic once said to Bruria, Ksiv rani akara lo yolada. It is written regarding the desolate city Jerusalem, sing out, O barren one who has not given birth. Mishum de lo yolada rani. But should she then sing because she has not given birth? But surely barrenness is cause only for sadness, not for rejoicing. Amalei, Bruria said to him, Shati shvil seifei dekra, fool, go down to the end of the verse and see what is written there. Dechsiv ki rabim b'nei shomema b'nei bu'ula amar Hashem. For in conclusion it is written, for the children of the desolate Jerusalem are more numerous than the children of the inhabited one, the Edomite city, said Hashem. Clearly Jerusalem is in fact not barren. 10:8:2 at the top. Elamaya Karalo Yolada. What then is meant by the phrase, O barren one who has not given birth? It contrasts the Jewish nation with the descendants of Edom, the despoilers of Jerusalem. It therefore urges, Rani Knesset Yisrael, let the congregation of Israel sing out. Shadoma leisha kara, for she, Israel, is like a barren woman. Shelo yalda banim legehenim kavasaychu, in that she has not given birth to children destined for Gehenna. As you have, daughter of Edom, Jerusalem is barren only in the production of such ill-fated progeny as these, but is abundantly fruitful in the production of children who, unlike those of Edom, are destined for great reward. Thus, the so-called barren one indeed has every reason to rejoice. Another exchange involving a heretic and a righteous person. Amaleyahu mina Rabbi Abo. A certain heretic once said to Rabbi Abo, Ksiv mizmor David Baruch mipnei Avshalom beno. Towards the beginning of the book of Psalms it is written, a song by David upon his flight from Absalom his son. Ksiv David michdam bevarchim mipnei Shaul b'mara. And further on in the book it is written by David a song of great worth upon his flight from Saul in the cave. Hai Maseh Havabaresha. Which incident occurred earlier? David's flight from Saul or his flight from Absalom? Mikti, now let us see. Maseh Shaul Havabaresha. The incident with Saul was certainly earlier. Lichto Baresha. It accordingly should have been written earlier. Why then does David's praise for his deliverance from Absalom precede his praise for his deliverance from Saul? Amalei, Rabbi Bo said to him, Atum delo darshisun smuchen kashiluchu. You heretics who do not expound the significance of juxtaposed scriptural passages. For this question indeed poses a difficulty. Ananda darshino smuchen lo kashilan. We righteous people, however, who do expound juxtaposed scriptural passages, for us this question poses no difficulty at all. For the reason the psalm regarding Absalom was placed at the book's beginning was to juxtapose it with another psalm found there, so that a teaching can be derived from their proximity. The Gemara interrupts momentarily to present a source for exposition of juxtaposed passages. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan, for Rabbi Yochanan said, Smuchen min Torah minayin. From where in the Torah do we learn that juxtaposed scriptural passages may be expounded? Shenamar, for it is stated regarding scriptural passages, Smuchen la'ad la'olam asuyim be'emes v'yasha. They are joined forever and for eternity. They, i.e. the joint passages, are fashioned in truth and uprightness. This teaches that the joining of various passages is not random, but is an expression of eternal truth. Every such joining then may be expounded. It is for this reason that David's song of deliverance from the hands of Absalom comes out of sequence. It is juxtaposed to the chapter that precedes it for expository purposes. This is now explained. Parshas Avshalom or Parshas Gog and Magog. Why is the chapter regarding Absalom juxtaposed with a chapter that relates a prophecy concerning Gog and Magog? She'im yom lecha adam, so that if a person hoping to refute the prophecy regarding Gog and Magog's future rebellion against God will say to you, Klum yeshevet shemored barabo, is there ever a servant who rebels against his master? Afata amalo, you will even say to him, Klum yesh bein shemored ba'aviv, and is there ever a son who rebels against his father? This is an equally unlikely occurrence. Allahava, nevertheless, it once did occur when Absalom rebelled against King David. Al-Chanami Hava, likewise here, regarding the future rebellion of Gog and Magog against God, it will one day come to pass. The juxtaposition of these chapters thus provides the answer to those who would deny this prophecy. The Gemara will now cite an exposition of 5 scriptural verses, one of which was the verse of let sinners cease from the earth. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, My dechsev, that which is written, Pia Pascha b'chachma b'toras chesed el Shona, she opens her mouth in wisdom, and the Torah of kindness is on her tongue. Keneged mi amar Shlomo mikrazeh. Regarding whom did Solomon state this verse? Lo amor ala keneged Daviv. He stated it regarding none other than his father David. Shadar b'chamisha olamim v'amar shira, who dwelt in 5 worlds and spoke the songs of praise regarding each of them. Yeah, I was trying to see an explanation in the notes about 5 worlds, but the note 23 is talking about Eishes Chayil and how it's speaking allegorically about the Torah. Torah and Ruach HaKodesh. I'm not sure what this means, 5 worlds. Darby May Imo V'Amar Shira. He dwelt in his mother's room, and he spoke. Oh, okay. I guess the Gemara is going to explain what the five worlds are. Darby May Imo V'Amar Shira. He dwelt in his mother's womb, and he spoke songs of praise regarding that time. We're at the top of chapter 10a of page 10a 3. Shenemar, for it is stated, Baruch Nafshi es Hashem v'chol kravai Hashem kacho. Bless my soul, bless Hashem and all my innards, His holy name. King David's mention of his innards refers to the innards of his mother wherein he dwelt. The second of the worlds in which King David dwelt, Yotzalav Yerolam Nistakel. He emerged into the open air of the world and gazed upon stars and constellations, and he spoke songs of praise regarding that time. Shenemar, for it is stated, Baruch Hashem Alachav Dibor Koach. Also Dvar Lishma called Dvar Baruch Hashem called Tzvav. Bless Hashem, O His angels, strong warriors who fulfill His word to hearken to the voice of His word. Bless Hashem, O His hosts. His hosts refer to the hosts of heaven, i.e. the stars and the constellations. King David thus gives praise for this world. The third of the five worlds, Yanak Mishteim over Nistaka B'Dadea V'Amar Shira, he nursed from his mother's breast and gazed upon her breasts, and he spoke songs of praise regarding that time. Shenemar, for it is stated, Baruch Nafshi Hashem, V'al Tishkechi Kol Gmulav. Bless my soul, bless Hashem, and forget not all of His nurturing. My Kol Gmulav. My Kol Gmulav. What is meant by all His nurturing? Amar Rabbo said this nurturing refers to the sustenance provided in an infant from his mother's breast. Sha'asala Dadim Bimkom Bina. King David offers praise that God fashioned breast for a woman opposite the place of inside, i.e. opposite the heart. Tamamai. What was God's reason for doing so? Amar Rav Yehuda said, Kadesh Shelo Yistakel B'Mkom Erva, so that an infant will not gaze at the place of nakedness. Rav Masna said, Kadesh Shelo Yinak Mimkom Hatinofis, so that an infant will not nurse from an unclean place. The fourth world, Ra b'mapalatan shel Rishon v'Amar Shiri. He perceived the downfall of the wicked, and he spoke songs of praise regarding that time. Shenemar, for it is stated, Yitamu chatoim min haaretz, u'risham odenam baruch nafshi Hashem, hallelujah. Let sinners cease from the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless my soul, bless Hashem, hallelujah. The fifth of the five worlds for which King David offered praise, Nistako b'yom hamisa v'Amar Shira. He regarded the day of death, and he spoke songs of praise for that time. Shenemar, for it is stated, Baruch Nafshi Hashem, Hashem Elohai Gadalta Ma'od Hod V'Hadosh Levashta. Bless my soul, bless Hashem, Hashem my God, you are very great, you have done majesty and splendor. This verse concerns the day of death. King David offers praise to God for that day. The Gemara wonders, My mashma dal yom hamisa nemra. What indicates that this verse was stated regarding the day of death? Amar Rabbi Bar Rav Shila. Rabbi Bar Rav Shila said, "Mesefer Dinyana." This is indicated from the latter part of this passage. T'chsiv, for it is written further on in this psalm, "Tastir panecha yibehelun, tosaf rucham yigvon." When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you retrieve their spirit, they perish, etc. And to the dust they return. We thus see that this verse concerns the day of death. 10a4. The Gemara cites an exchange regarding one of the verses just cited. Reb Shimi bar Ukva va'amrila mar Ukva havashchiach kamed Reb Shimon ben Pazi. Reb Shimi bar Ukva, or as some say, Mar Ukva was often in attendance before Reb Shimon ben Pazi. V'amasader agadata kamed Reb Yeshua ben Levi, who had arranged the agadata before Reb Yeshua ben Levi. Amalei, i.e. Reb Shimi bar Ukva, or Mar Ukva, once said to Reb Shimon ben Pazi, "My dechsev, what is the meaning of that which is written? Bless my soul, bless Hashem, and all my innards, His holy name." Reb Shimon ben Pazi assumed that he was inquiring about King David's mention of his innards. He therefore answered as follows: Amalei, he said to him, come and observe that unlike the nature of the Holy One, blessed is He, is the nature of the one of flesh and blood. Midas Basavadam, this is the nature of the one of flesh and blood. Tzaru Tzura al Gabe Akosa, one shapes a form upon a wall. But is not able to cast into it a breath, a soul, innards, and intestines. But the Holy One, blessed is He, is not so. Tzar Tzura b'toch Tzura, He shapes one form within another form, i.e. a child within its mother. And cast into it breath, a soul, innards, and intestines. It is this godly ability that King David praised with the words, my innards. And this vast divide between the abilities of God and those of man is what Hannah intended when she said the following: Ein kadosh kashem ki ein biltecha ve'ein tzur keloheinu. There are none as holy as Hashem, for there are none besides you, and there is no tzur like our God. My ein tzur keloheinu. What is meant by there is no tzur like our God? Ein tzayer keloheinu. There is no shaper, tzayer like our God. For only He is able to shape one within another, and then endow it with breath, a soul, innards, and intestines. The Gemara pauses to expand Hannah's earlier word. Hannah's earlier words. Ma'ki ein biltecha. What is meant by "for there are none besides you"? Rabbi Yehuda bar Manasseh said, "Al takri ki ein biltecha." Do not read this as "there are none besides you" biltecha. Ella ein levalosecha. But as there are none to outlive you. Libalosecha. Shelo kemidas hakadosh baruch hu midas basavadam. For unlike the nature of the Holy One, blessed is He, is the nature of one of flesh and blood. Midas basavadam matzi yadav mevalanafso. The nature of one of flesh and blood is such that His handiwork outlives Him. V'hakadosh baruch hu mevalamasav. But the Holy One, blessed is He, outlives His works. The Gemara now returns to clarify the question originally posed to Reb Shimon ben Pazi. Amalei, he, Reb Shimon bar Ukva, or Mar Ukva, said to Reb Shimon ben Pazi, Anahachi ka aminalach. When I asked, this is what I meant to say to you. Hani chamisha barchi nafshi keneged mi amar and David. These 5 verses of bless my soul, regarding whom did King David state them? Reb Shimon ben Pazi answered, Lo amaran ela keneged HaKadosh Baruch Hu keneged neshama. He stated them regarding none other than the Holy One, blessed is He, and regarding the human soul. Each of the 5 verses corresponds to a godly attribute that is shared by the human soul. These are the 5 shared attributes. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu malei kol ha'olam, just as the Holy One, blessed is He, fills all the world, af neshama meleah as kol haguf. So does the human soul fill all the body. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu ro'av eino nira. Just as the Holy One, blessed is He, observes but is not observed. After Shalom ro'av eino nira. So too with the soul, it observes but is not observed. The top of 10a5. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu zanas kol ha'olam kulo. Just as the Holy One, blessed is He, nourishes all the world, af neshama zanas kol haguf. So too does the soul nourish all the body. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu Torah. Just as the Holy One, blessed is He, is pure, af neshama Torah. So too is the soul pure. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu yoshev b'chadrei chadarim. Just as the Holy One, blessed is He, abides within rooms. Af neshama yosheves b'chadrei chadarim. So too does the soul abide in rooms within rooms. Reb Shimon ben Pazi concludes, King David is saying, let me who possesses these 5 attributes come, and give praise to the one who possesses these 5 attributes. The Gemara will now recount an incident concerning Chizkiyahu, king of Judah. The Gemara cites this incident because it culminates in mention of the obligation to join the redemption blessing to the prayer. Amar Rav Hamnuna said, "My dechsev regarding that which is written, Mi ke'achachem u'mi odei pesher davar, Who is like the wise one, and who knows a thing's interpretation? Pesher, its meaning is as follows: Mika Kadosh Baruch Hu, who is like the Holy One, blessed is He, Sheyudei Lasos Pshara bein Shnei Tzadikim, who knows how to make a compromise, Pshara, between two righteous people, bein Chizkiyahu Lishayahu, i.e., between King Chizkiyahu and the prophet Isaiah, who could not agree on the question of whose honor was greater. Chizkiyahu, for Chizkiyahu said, Leisi Yishayahu Gabai, let Isaiah come to me. Dachi Ashkecham Be'Eliyahu Da'azal Gabai Yachav, Shenemar Vayelech Eliyahu Laharo Solachav. First, do we find in the case of the prophet Elijah that he went to see Ahab, king of Israel, and did not summon Ahab to appear before him. Evidently, the honor due a king is greater than due to a prophet. Isaiah should accordingly come to me. Yeshayahu Amar, but Isaiah said, Leisi Chizkiyahu Gabayu, but let Chizkiyahu come to me. Dachi Ashkechan B'Yehoram ben Achav Da'azal Gabi Elisha. Yehoram, son of Achab, king of Israel, that he went to see the prophet Elisha and did not summon Elisha to appear before him. Evidently, the honor due to a prophet is greater than that due to a king. Chizkiyahu should therefore come to me. Ma'aseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what did the Holy One, blessed is He, do? Hevi Yisurim al Chizkiyahu, he brought afflictions upon Chizkiyahu. And he then said to Isaiah, go and visit the sick one. Thus did God bring these two together. Shenemar, for it is stated by Yomim, Hahein, Cholach Chizkiyahu Lomos, Vayovo Elav Yeshayahu ben Omot Hanavi, Vayom Elav Koram Hashem Tzvakos, Tzavla Beisecha, Ki Mesat Velotechye. In those days, Chizkiyahu took sick unto death, and Isaiah, son of Amos, the prophet, came to him and said to him, so spoke God, instruct your household, for you are dying, and you will not live. We see that Isaiah came before Chizkiyahu as a result of the afflictions that were brought upon Chizkiyahu. The Gemara pauses to analyze this prophecy. What is the reason the verse first states, for you are dying, and then continues with the words, and you will not live? If one is dying, it is obvious that he will not live. The Gemara explains, you are dying refers to our death in this world. And you will not live refers to death in the world to come. These words were to inform Chizkiyahu that he was to lose his portion of the world to come. We're at 10a6 at the top. Upon hearing this prophecy, Chizkiyahu inquired about the reason for this punishment. Amalei Chizkiyahu said to Isaiah, what is the reason for all this? Why am I deserving of such a severe penalty? Amalei, Isaiah came to him. Isaiah said to him, Mishum Delo Sakta B'Frio V'Rivyo. It is because you do not engage in procreation. Amalei Chizkiyahu said to him, Mishum Dechazai Li Baruch HaKodesh Denafki Minai B'nin Delo Ma'alu. But this was because I saw a divine inspiration that unvirtuous children will issue forth from me. It is better to refrain from the mitzvah of procreation than to beget such offspring. Amalei, Isaiah said to him, Bahadi Kaf Shil Drachman Alamalach. Why do you concern yourself with these hidden things of the Merciful One? My demipakdat ibayilach lemebad. What you are commanded to do, you must do. And what is found to be good before the Holy One, blessed is He will do. This is not your choice to make. Amalei Chizkiyahu thereupon said to Isaiah, Hashta havli bratach. Now that I am apprised of my wrong, give me your daughter as a wife, and I will beget children by her. Perhaps my merits and your merits combined will suffice to cause virtuous children to issue forth for me. Amalei, Isaiah said to him, but a decree of death has already been passed upon you. At this point, marrying my daughter will accomplish nothing. Amalei Chizkiyahu then said to Isaiah, Ben Amatz Kali Nivotzcha say, son of Amatz, end your prophecy and go. Kach mukublani mi beis avi abba, for I have received this following teaching from the house of my father's father. Even if a sharp sword rests upon a person's neck, al yimna atzmo min arachamim, he should not refrain from praying for mercy, while hope is therefore not lost. The Gemara cites a further source for this teaching. Itmar nami, similarly, it has been stated, Rabbi Yochanan Eliezer, the army de Tarvayu, Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar, they both said as follows: even if a sharp sword rests upon a person's neck, he should not refrain from praying for mercy. Shenamar, for it is stated regarding the tribulations of Job, although he kills me, I will pray to him. Evidently, one may hope for mercy even at death's door. Daf Yomi Beis. The Gemara cites a similar teaching. Reb Chanan said, even if the master of dreams says to a person, tomorrow you will die, he should not refrain from praying for mercy. For it is stated, for with all the multitude of dreams and the empty prophecies and many words, only fear God. If one does so, he can escape the fate foretold by his dreams. The Gemara returns to the incident with Chizkiyahu. Miyad, upon being apprised of his sin, Chizkiyahu immediately did the following. And Chizkiyahu turned his face to the wall and he prayed to Hashem. The Gemara asks, Makir, what is the significance of Chizkiyahu's turning to his face to the wall? The Gemara answers on Rav Shimon ben Lakish said, Mikiros Libo. This is a reference to the fact that his prayer was from the walls of his heart. Shenera, for it is stated regarding Jeremiah's heartfelt lament. May I, ochilo kirus libi. My innards shudder, the walls of my heart are in turmoil within me, my heart will not be still. We see that the word walls is used in connection with the expressions of one's heart. An alternative interpretation of Chizkiyahu turning his face to the wall, Rabbi Levi said, Aliski Hakir. It means that Chizkiyahu turned his attention to the matter of the wall, i.e. the wall of the holy temple. Amlafana for Chizkiyahu said as follows before God, Ribbon Shalom, Master of the universe. If in the merit of the Shunammite woman who made only a single small wall for the prophet Elisha, you brought her son back to life. Then the merit of my father's father, King Solomon, who covered the entire temple with silver and gold. You should certainly preserve the life of his offspring. My life should thus be saved. The Gemara quotes Chizkiyahu's prayers. Remember now the manner in which I have walked before you, truthful and wholeheartedly. I have done that which is good in your eyes. The Gemara asks, what is Chizkiyahu referring to with the words, I have done that which is good in your eyes? The Gemara answers, Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, he means that he regularly joined the redemption blessing to the prayer. He prayed to God to heal him in the merit of this practice. A second answer, Reb Levi said, Shagana Sefer Refuos. He means that he hid the book of remedies. It was the merit of this act that Chizkiyahu invoked before God. Having mentioned that Chizkiyahu hid the book of remedies, the Gemara cites a brisa discussing this act. The rabbis taught in the brisa, Shishadvarim Asa Chizkiyahu Amelech. Of a particular 6 acts that King Chizkiyahu did, Al Shlosha Hodelo, the sages acquiesced to him regarding 3, Bal Shlosha Lo Hodelo, but did not acquiesce to him regarding the other 3. Al Shlosha Hodelo, the sages acquiesced to him regarding these 3 acts. Gonna say for Hodelo, he hid the book of remedies and the sages acquiesced to him. Kitas Nechasha Nachot Hodelo, he ground up the copper serpent that Moses made. So he ground up the copper serpent that Moses made. So apparently people stopped believing that it was coming from God, and they started kind of believing that it was the serpent himself that was giving them the healing, and so he decided that it was time to destroy it. We're at the top of 10b2. He dragged the bones of his father Achaz to the grave on a bed of ropes, and the sages acquiesced to him. So apparently his father was wicked, and this was a way to disgrace a king. As a king would have been carried to the grave in gold and silver, he used for him a bed of ropes. But the sages did not acquiesce to him regarding the following three acts. He stopped up the waters of Gihon, and the sages did not acquiesce to him. He cut off the doors of the temple and sent them to the king of Assyria, and the sages did not acquiesce to him. He once intercalated the month of Nisan into the previous year during Nisan itself, and the sages did not acquiesce to him. The Gemara wonders how Chizkiyahu justified the latter act. But did Chizkiyahu then not subscribe to the rabbi's interpretation of the verse that says of Nisan, this month shall be for you the beginning of the months, which they interpret to mean only this beginning month may be Nisan, but no other month may be Nisan. Surely he must have accepted this interpretation. By what reasoning then did he render and already proclaim Nisan an intercalary month, thereby causing Nisan to be not the beginning month but the second month of the year? The Gemara explains, in fact, Chizkiyahu did not subscribe to the rabbi's interpretation, but he heard regarding Shmuel's ruling. Gamar Shmuel, for Shmuel said, In ma'arbanas hashana b'yom shloshim shel Adar. We do not intercalate a month into the year on the 13th of Adar, even on the 30th of Adar, even if that day was not yet proclaimed to be Nisan. Since it is eligible to be designated the first of Nisan. The restriction against 10b3 at the top, intercalating Nisan into the previous year before, applies even on the 13th of Adar. Several whole v'ro lo amrinan. Chizkiyahu mistakenly held that we do not say that since this day is eligible to be Nisan, we cannot extend the current year on this day. He therefore extended the year on the 30th of Adar. The Gemara comments on Chizkiyahu's prayer. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra, Kol HaTola b'schos atzmo tolen lo b'schos sacher. Anyone who depends on his own merit in prayer, they make the fulfillment of his prayer dependent on the merits of others. But anyone who depends upon the merit of others in prayer, they make the fulfillment of his prayer dependent on his own merit. So let's see notes 23 and 24. What are we talking about? 23, i.e., asks in his prayer that they be answered because of his own merit. 24, such as one who depends upon the merit of his forebears or upon God's mercy. Moshe told for example, Moses depended upon the merit of others in his prayers on behalf of the Jews. As it is stated, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants. They therefore made the fulfillment of his prayer dependent on his own merit. For it is stated regarding the result of that prayer, and he spoke to destroy them, were it not for Moses, his chosen one, who stood in the breach before him to turn away his wrath from destroying. We see that the salvation came in the merit of Moses himself. Chizkiyahu by contrast, depended on his own merit in his prayer, as it is written, remember now the manner in which I have walked before you, truthful and wholeheartedly. They therefore made the fulfillment of his prayer dependent upon the merit of others. For it is stated in answer to his prayer, Now I will shield the city to save it for my sake and for the sake of my servant David. Thus the prayer was answered not in Chizkiyahu's merit, but in the merit of King David. The Gemara supports this contention. Behind the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, and this is in accord with the statement of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. The Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, for Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, "My dechsev," regarding that which was written in Chizkiyahu's letter of thanksgiving. Hini l'shalom ma'ali mar. Behold the peace; it is bitter for me. A bitterness. Its meaning is as follows: Afilu b'shosh shikul lo kodesh baruch hu shalom. Even at the time that the Holy One, blessed to see, sent Chizkiyahu peace. Marulo, it was bitter for him, since it did not come by his own merit. In Chizkiyahu's prayer, he mentioned the room built by the Shunammite woman for the prophet Elisha. The Gemara therefore turns to this incident and quotes the woman's words to her husband. Nasana Aliyas Kir Ktana. She said to her husband, "Let us now make a small Aliyas Kir. Let us place him there. I.e. Elisha, a bed, a table, a chair, and lamp. And it will be that when he comes to us, he will retire to there." Rav and Shmuel disagreed as to the sort of room they prepared. Chadamar once said, Aliyah Prua, house of the Kirua. It was an unroofed upper chamber, and they roofed it. Chadamar, but the other said, Achsadra l'Gdola, house of the Chilkul Ashnaim. It was a large hall, and they divided it into two with a wall. The Gemara asks, Bishlam Lamandamar Achsadra, according to the one who says it was a hall partition with a wall all as well. Haidach Siv Kir, for this is why it is written regarding this chamber of Kir, which generally translates as wall. The woman was urging her husband to build a wall necessary to form the chamber. But according to the one who says that it was an upper chamber that they roofed my Kir, for what reason is the chamber described as Kir? No wall was needed to prepare it. The Gemara answers, Shekirua, according to this explanation, the word Kir is used because they roofed it, Shekirua. 10b4. The Gemara now questions the one who holds that the chamber was originally part of a large hall. According to the one who says that it was an upper chamber all as well, for this is why it is written regarding this chamber Aliyas, which means upper chamber. But according to the one who says that this was a hall, my Aliyas, for what reason is the chamber described as Aliyas? It was not an upper chamber at all. The Gemara answers, Me'ula Shababatim. According to this explanation, the word Aliyas is used to describe the best Me'ula of the roofs, of the rooms. The Gemara turns to the second part of the verse. V'nasim lo shamita v'shulchan v'kisei u'menorah. Let us place there for him a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp. The Gemara derives a lesson from Elisha's acceptance of their hospitality. Amar Abaye v'Tema Reb Yitzchak. Abaye said, if you wished, you may say it was the Reb Yitzchak, who said, Harotza lehanos yana. One who wishes to derive benefit from the kindness of others may derive such benefit. Ki Elisha, as we learn from the practice of the prophet Elisha, who accepted lodging from the Shunammite woman. V'shein harotza lehanos al yana. But one who does not wish to derive any benefit at all from the kindness of others need not accept such benefit. Kishmul or Amasi, as we learn from the practice of Samuel the Ramahite, who was careful never to rely on others for his needs. Shenamar, for following scriptures and enumeration of the places visited in Samuel's yearly circuit, it is stated, Uchuvaso Haramaso Kisham Beso, and his return was to the Ramah, for his home was there. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan was troubled by the verse's final clause, for the location of Samuel's home is well known. He therefore took this verse to be discussing the places that Samuel visited and said, Shekol Makom Shahalach Sham Beiso Imo. The verse means that in all the places that Samuel visited, his house was with him, for he carried with him all that he might need, so that he would not be forced to accept favors from others. The Gemara cites a verse regarding the Shunammite woman's opinion of Elisha. Vatomer Elisha, Hine no yadati ki ish Elohim kadashu. And she said to her husband, Behold, now I know that this is a man of God, and he is holy, who passes regularly among us. Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yossi son of Rabbi Chanina said, Mikan shayisham akeres baruch and Yosef Meneish. From there we see that a woman recognized the qualities inherent in her guests more readily than a man does. For it was the woman who had to inform her husband of Elisha's holiness. The Gemara analyzes this verse. Kaddish, the woman said he is holy, but no yada. But from where did she know that this was so? The Gemara answers, Rav Shmuel, Rav and Samuel disagreed regarding this question. Chad Amar once said, Shelo rasa tzvuv over al shulchano. She knew this because she never saw a fly pass upon his table. The fact that unclean creatures kept their distance from Elisha was proof of his holiness. Chad Amar, on the other, said, Sadin shel pishton hitzial midaso. She knew because she regularly spread a linen sheet upon his bed. But never saw upon it a trace of seminal emission. This was proof of his purity of mind. (10b5). The Gemara analyzes this verse further. Kaddish, the woman said, he is holy. Amar Rabbi Yossi Barabi, Chanina, Rabbi Yossi the son of Rabbi Chanina said, Who Kaddish umashasa eno Kaddish. Her phrasing betrays her recognition that although he, i.e. Elisha, is holy, his servant Gehazi is not holy. Shenera, for indeed it is stated regarding a later encounter between Elisha's servant and this woman. Vayigash Gehazi lahadfa, and Gehazi approached to push her. Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina, Rabbi Yossi the son of Rabbi Chanina said, Sha'achaza bahod yafya. This means that he grabbed her by the glory of her beauty, i.e. by her breasts. Clearly, Gehazi was not a holy man. The Gemara now turns to the second part of the verse that discusses the holiness of Elisha. Over Aleinu Tamid. The verse states, Who passes regularly Tamid among us. Amar Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina Mishum Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. Rabbi Yosef the son of Rabbi Chanina said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, Kolam Ha'areach Tamid Chacham B'toch Beiso Ma'aneu Min Nechasav. The use of the word Tamid in this verse teaches that if anyone hosts a Torah scholar in his house and gives him benefit from his belongings, Ma'ala Olav Akasav Kilu Makriv Tmidim, Scripture looks upon him as though he is bringing Tamid offerings to the altar. The Gemara follows this teaching of Rabbi Yosef, the son of Rabbi Chanina, in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, with several other teachings from the same source. From Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina, Mishum Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, and Rabbi Yosef, the son of Rabbi Chanina, said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, Al Yamod Adam b'makom kavod v'yispalo. A person should not stand in a high place and pray, El b'makom namok v'yispalo, but should rather stand in a low place and pray. Shneimar, for it is stated, Mimamakin kurasich Hashem, from the depth I called you Hashem. The Gemara cites a brisa in support of this ruling. Tani nami hachi, it has likewise been taught in a brisa, Lo yamod adam lo al gabe kisei v'lo al gabe srafraf. Lo b'makom gavoa v'yispalo. A person should not stand upon a chair or upon a stool. or upon any other high place and pray. But should rather stand in a low place and pray. For there may be no haughtiness before the omnipresent. Shenemar, as it is stated, from the depth I called you Hashem. It is written, prayer is for the poor one when he wraps himself in his pain. This teaches that prayer is properly recited in the manner of a poor man, i.e. in a humble fashion. Another teaching, Rabbi Yossi the son of Rabbi Chanina said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, one who prays must align his legs so that they are side by side, thus emulating the practice of the angels. Shenamar, for regarding the angels, it is stated, and their legs were a straight leg, i.e., they were positioned side by side, thus giving the appearance of a single straight leg. Yet another teaching by Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Chanina, in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, V'amar Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, Mishum Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. And Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Chanina, said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, my dictative regarding that which is written 10b6. Lo tochlu al adam, you may not eat upon the blood. Its meaning is as follows: Lo tochlu kodem tispalalu al dimchem. You may not eat in the morning before you pray upon your blood, i.e. before praying for your well-being. A similar teaching, you could army on Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, Mishum Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. Rabbi Yitzchak said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, who said in the name of Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Chanina, who said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, Kol ha'ochel v'shotzav v'achar kach mispalo. Anyone who first eats and drinks in the morning and only afterwards prays Allah HaKadosh Baruch Hu regarding him, Scripture states the following: Vosi yishlachta achrei gavecha, and myself you have cast behind your body, gavecha. Atikre gavecha, do not read this as gavecha, which means your body, ala geyecha, but as geyecha, which means your arrogance. Accordingly, this verse can be interpreted as discussing one who arrogantly satisfies his appetites before discharging his responsibilities towards God. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, thus the Holy One, blessed is He, stated, La'achar sh'nizkor zeh kibelo of malchus shamayim. After this one has exalted himself by attending to his own appetites, only then does he accept upon himself the kingship of heaven. He has placed his responsibility towards me behind his own desires. The Gemara now cites the Mishnah with regard to the latest time for reading the morning Shema. The Mishnah states, Rabbi Shua Omer Ad Shalosh Shalosh, Rabbi Eliezer states the time for recitation of the morning Shema continues until sunrise. Rabbi Shua says the morning Shema may be recited until the end of the first 3 hours of the day. The Gemara rules on Rabbi Huda and Shmuel. Rabbi Huda said in the name of Shmuel, Halacha Rabbi Shua. The halacha is in accordance with the views of Rabbi Shua. One may therefore recite the morning Shema until the end of the 3rd hour. The Mishnah continues. Hakore mikan ve'elach lo hifzid. However, even one who recites the Shema from that point on, i.e. after the end of the 3rd hour, does not lose all heavenly reward, but is rewarded as one who reads from the Torah. The Gemara qualifies this rule. Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Marabva. Rav Chisda said in the name of Marabva, but this is provided that he does not pronounce the blessing of who forms light, along with the Shema. For if he does do so, he will lose reward, as he will have pronounced a blessing in vain. Rav Chisda's assertion is challenged. Meisvei. They challenged him on the basis of the following brayso: the one who recites the Shema from that point on, i.e. from after the end of the 3rd hour, does not lose all heavenly reward. Kadam shul kor b'Torah, but is rewarded as one who reads from the Torah. However, even he recites 2 blessings before the Shema and 1 blessing after it. We see that one who recites the Shema after the end of the 3rd hour may in fact pronounce its blessings along with it. To Yufted Rav Chisda, this is a refutation of Rav Chisda, who stated upon above, that one may not recite the blessing of who forms light. The Gemara agrees, to Yufta, indeed it is a refutation. The Gemara represents a different version of Rav Chisda's ruling. Ikadamri, others say, Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Marukva. Rav Chisda said in the name of Marukva, Milo Hifsid, what is the meaning of the words he does not lose? Shlo Hifsid Berachos, that when one recites the Shema after the third hour, he does not lose the privilege of pronouncing the blessings that come before and after the Shema. Tani Nami Halchi, it has likewise been taught in the Brisa, Hakor Me'an Ve'elech, Mikan Ve'elech, Lo Hifsid. One who recites the Shema from that point on does not lose the privilege of pronouncing the blessings. We are at 10b7 at the top. Kadam Shakar B'Torah, even though he is one who merely reads for the Torah. Rather, he recites two blessings before the Shema and one blessing after it. According to this version of Rav Chisda's ruling, he himself permits one to pronounce the blessing even after the third hour has passed. The Gemara derives a teaching from our Mishnah. Amar Rabbi Mani. Rabbi Mani said, one who recites the Shema in its proper time is greater than one who is engaged in Torah study. For since the Mishnah taught that one who recites the Shema from that point on, i.e. the third hour, does not lose all heavenly reward, but is rewarded as one who recites from the Torah. Miklal Dekora Bonas Adif. It implies that one who recites the Shema in its proper time is even better than one who studies Torah. Mishnah. This Mishnah discusses the position one must assume while reciting the Shema. Beis Shammai say, Be'erev kol adam yata v'yikra. In the evening, each person must first lie down and only then recite the Shema. Uva boker yamud. But in the morning, each person must stand while reciting the Shema. Shenamar, for in the verse commanding recitation of the Shema, it is stated, Ubeshachbecha uvkumecha, and when you lie down and when you arise. This teaches that the evening Shema must be recited while lying and the morning while standing. Beis Hillel Omer, but Beis Hillel say, Kol Adam Kore Kedarko. Each person recites the Shema according to his preferred manner, i.e. in whatever way he pleases, whether while standing, lying, sitting, or walking. Shenamar, for with regard to recitation of the Shema, it is stated, U'leftecha b'derech, and while you go on the way. This proves that even one who is neither lying nor standing, may recite the Shema. Beis Hillel now explain how they deal with Beis Shammai's proof text. If so, why is it stated that when you lie down and when you arise, which seemingly requires one to read the evening Shema while lying down and the morning Shema while standing? This verse simply establishes the proper times for reciting the Shema. It must be done at the time that the people are lying down to sleep and at the time that people are arising from their beds. The verse does not discuss one's position during the recitation at all. An incident regarding this dispute. Amar Reb Talfon said, I was once coming on the road, and when the time of evening Shema arrived, I deliberately lay down to recite in accordance with the words of Beis Shammai. And I thereby endangered myself on account of the bandits who might have attacked me while I lay there. The sage said to him, had they attacked you, it would have been fitting for you to have come to harm. For by deliberately lying down for Shema, you transgress the words of Beis Hillel. That's the end of Daf Yod. Hopefully you'll join me tomorrow for Daf Yod Aleph, page 11. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you.